Well, I can tell he's fired up, people. I've been sitting here talking to the original Coach Carter. So that means that what? Let me see. It's November. He's telling me that the temperatures have been in the 40s. That means it must be basketball season. I can tell by the smile on his
Absolutely,
face. It must be,
absolutely.
must be, must
It's
be.
basketball time.
The basketball time. Well, I'm Charles
That's
Morris. This
right.
is the original Coach Carter, and this is Youth Central Sports, where we come to you every Wednesday at 11 p.m. at this time. Happy to announce and happy to see the smile on his face. And so tell me, catch me up on the basketball. I know you was. Last week it was about to start. I guess has it started?
Yeah, well, we officially started on October 29th, and 5 days from that start, we had two play dates this last Saturday. And we'll have two more this coming Saturday. And then on November the 13th, we start our regular season basketball season. Very, very excited, very proud of what the team looks like and what they've been able to accomplish. And some real good competition this coming weekend will be another good opportunity to see ourselves, see what we look like, and get ready for the regular season. Going to be a very interesting season.
Now, did you give me the final update on your volleyball team?
They won their sixth straight state championship.
Six straight.
Six,
Wow.
six in a row. Six in a row.
Six in a
Uh,
row.
6 in a row. I mean, unbelievable what they've been able to accomplish. And I get a chance to see quite a few games, and I've been just true excitement for what those young ladies are able to accomplish. Our football team in the second rounds of the playoffs, they're doing very well. Baseball team made it, won it state last year, and this past season made it back, but came up a little bit short. So, soccer team, girls soccer team in the state championship, boys soccer team getting ready to go into the what we call mid regionals, which is the game before you go to the state. So we got a lot of going on right now around there. Of course, basketball is starting, and we'll have first home game will be the 13th. So I'm excited. I mean, it's all over the place. Pro football is going on, pro basketball, college basketball started last night, and high school basketball is right around the corner. I couldn't ask for more.
Oh, okay. For those who don't know, I am the abandoned child. So, the original Coach Carter, tell us where you are because he's talking. A lot of you don't know that he's no longer here in Orlando. So, I'm the abandoned child.
Yeah.
So, you have to tell him where you are now.
I'm in Brentwood, Tennessee at Brentwood High School. I'm coaching boys basketball and working with special need kids. I'm one of the most excited persons you would ever meet. Both of my dreams have come true, and I'm just enjoying this run to its fullest.
Oh wow! It's funny because it's been a while since I've asked you about you working with the special need kids. Anything new going on with that?
Well, there are baby steps being made of the relationships that I've been able to form and see progress and behavior changes, and just working with them has been so humbling and gratifying. It really gives me a different outlook on life. They take life so very simple, and they break it down into the simplest form, and they just move on. So I've been very excited. It's a challenge, opportunity to have a chance to learn some sign language, learn some behaviors, get the chance to kind of really learn about some of their behavior issues, from autism to whatever else, some speech issues and all of it. It's just been exciting. One of those things that I've always liked, in addition to many other things. This is one of the things that I truly like. I'm working with, and I'm also working in the pathology field indirectly, behavior field indirectly. But so it's just, I mean, it's great. I'm enjoying it.
Okay. Now the thing is, I'm going to kind of switch gears on you for a second, but we're going to go back to what we're talking about. But I was sitting here hard thinking for the past couple of days, but I'll say that I would like to talk about this next week, but not this week, but next week. Did you get a chance to see the video of the teacher that got into the fight with the student?
No, I have not seen that. I have had opportunity to see a couple of other videos. that have involved parents and students and other parents. In fact, we had a big waylay up here about a week ago at a football game where
Mm-hmm.
the opposing parents, it was so bad they had to stop the game, call the
Right.
police, and have
Right.
people arrested.
So
So
no, no,
I'm
no.
had
Go
somewhat of a
ahead.
familiar with it.
Oh, okay. So what I would like to do, I like to do is not to focus on it this show, but next show
Hmm.
because people don't know, but that's your field in the sense of diversity. You've gone
Hmm.
out to speak to companies. People have hired you to come in to speak to their
Right?
staff and so on and so forth. And it's such a major part of what's going on in our country right now.
It
But
is.
there's a lot of questions that I want to ask you based on what I saw, based on what's
Hmm.
going on. And then I also want to share another story with you that I found out that was sent to me that I think that you might be shocked to
Okay.
find out the something that a lot of us do not know. But I want to share that next week. So I just want to let you know that
Okay.
I definitely, and I'm going to send that video to you.
Okay.
That whole thing that took place with the with the student and the teacher.
Hmm.
So you can see it from the start and to the end. So you can see
Okay.
exactly what happened. So would like to talk with you about that. And so
Look forward to that.
right, right. So, but anyway, now back to what's going on there. Why you think the volleyball team is so successful?
Well, one of the things that happens up here, there's a lot of club sports up here.
Hmm.
From you name it, with the football probably be the only exception. Everybody, there's club sports, there are club trainers, there are an awful lot of personal trainers, and a lot of these kids are getting a lot of club experience, and they're traveling. The program at the school is an excellent program, but Coach Campbell has got something like 16 national state championships. So she has a great program, but a lot of those kids come in with some experience because of their club volleyball play, and that's big up here. And it's very competitive, from what I understand. I know a couple of people. I've met a couple of people who are in that area, and they talk about that. So I think that has a great contribution. A lot of these kids know each other before they get to high school. They're already playing together before they get to the JV teams. So they just come in all together, and skill levels mesh. And then she obviously puts her spin on it and takes advantage and shapes that talent that they have with the existing experience that she has that's already on the court. It's just amazing. I've been to practices, I've been to games. It's just amazing to watch them work.
Oh, wow. To win six straight state championships.
Yeah,
That's like wow.
that's
That's
unbelievable. I mean, the amount of attention that she gets, and she's very low key about it. She kind of shies away from it a little bit, but you can't help it. I mean, she's recognized nationally for her abilities out for what her teams have been able to do. Girls graduate from high school early to go on one went to Texas, the other one was going to Furman in January. One last year skipped her senior year. She's going on to Texas to play volleyball. They wanted her right away. Both of them excellent students. The one girl that went to Texas, Eckerson, played um, the Olympic team. So I'm looking forward to seeing her playing Olympic volleyball here in the near future. So she's got some talent. And interestingly enough, that young lady who went to Texas, her sister was on this year's um, championship team. So it just seems to be coming by family.
hmm some news today. One of your old Cowboys signs with the Saints today.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to take place. Not specifically the Saints, but that he was going to go ahead and sign with someone. He got a 1 year deal. But interestingly enough, is that the coach of the Saints is a lot of conversation about him possibly becoming Cowboys coach because there's an awful lot of conversation about getting rid of Hall, who's the offensive coordinator, and Garrett, which would not surprise me that one or both of them will be gone. Because the biggest problem with the Cowboys, they got the talent. Yeah, they've been hit by a couple of injuries, but they got the talent. The offensive scheme, in my mind, and I'm a big Cowboy fan, is that it's stagnant. A lot of people are blaming Dak Prescott for it. Yeah, he's made a couple of errors, but at the same time, this young man has gotten the job done. I think this the offense, the way they've got it constructed. Elliott's not running the ball very well because of the scheme. Now you got this kid over, Amari Cooper comes over from the Raiders. Talented receiver, showed that the other day. They got to open that thing up, and they got to let Dak run the ball some. They got to get him out of it because he's not a pocket quarterback. He can move, he can throw. You got to open the offense up. And right now, I just think it's stagnant offense. So now Troy Aikman goes out and make a statement that he thinks it's from the top down, which I do agree with him in some cases because Jerry Jones and his staff, they meddle in things that they shouldn't meddle in. Jerry specifically. Let coaches coach. If you don't like what he's doing, fire me, get you another one. But he wants to infuse himself. And I think Garrett, while I like Garrett, I do think if he can't get it done, we got to get somebody else.
Well, I was going to talk about your Cowboys a little later, but you brought them up, which is
yeah, oh yeah.
There's
That was
been a lot of
embarrassing.
talk.
They lost the fight. Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk based on everything that you just said. But I also, and you probably know this, it would take somebody like Garrett to coach the Cowboys because it's like Jerry Jones need a yes man. And so for
Well,
somebody like Bill Parcells and Jimmy Johnson who know the game, who has a strong personality, wouldn't necessarily fit for him because he wants to be Mr. Everything. So
well,
with that being said,
I
I
agree
just
with you
wonder
on that.
who would come in and take that job and be successful with it, because
I personally think
because he's
Sean
probably
Payton would
handing out
be
notes during the game.
Sean Payton from the Saints would be excellent. The Cowboys are built for what he brings to the table, in my opinion. They're the kind of team that, and he could take them right where they are, and make some adjustments and really get them playing. Now that Jerry Jones would be the key. You got to get out the way and let coaches coach. You got to, yeah, you're the owner. Maybe you want to say one or two things, but you can't get involved in how the game is being played, who's playing, what we're doing. You entrust that to other people and let them do their job. And that's been the criticism I've had of him. He wants to be the limelight. He sounds like he has a syndrome to someone else that I know that's all about them. Well, when actuality, it has very little to do with you. You write a check, and that's about it. You don't have anything to do with what goes on the field. If he wants to win, and he really wants to win, he wants to get another coach. He's going to have to get somebody that he's going to have, and he's going to have to make some adjustments about if he really wants to win or not. Because I feel like if you want to be that involved, you should coach him. You should go out there
Well,
and coach him. But Garrett, I think, is a good cowboy. He's a great cowboy, for the organization. But I'm starting, I don't know. He has not been able to get it done, and unfortunately, coaches are always the fall guy. But he has not been able to produce for us. They haven't gone very far, and they were really on paper. Everybody thought they were going to do very well this year, and so far, what we're 3-5, still in the hunt in the division, but 3-5 is not going to get you very far.
I want to ask you, what did you think about what happened when I don't know the name of the player, when they stood on the star, and it was kind of lackadaisical on the Cowboys part when, back in the day, man, if they, if,
Knock you out.
yeah, yeah. So now it's kind of like, yeah. Go ahead and do your thing, man.
Well, see, they're losing, and that was one of the things that I think is happening. They're becoming the kids that are coming in there now don't have that same cowboy pride. And I think that comes from not having coaches there. Now, one of the defensive, what's this guy? He is the receiver and defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. His name has popped up as possibly taking over if a head coaching position became, because this kid is supposed to be highly talented at his job. Team, players like him. He's young. He's one of them, if you will. His name has come up as well. I can't think of his name at the minute. It'll come to me in a minute. Uh, so it's got to be these engaging guys that can come in and be, because I don't know how Garrett. I don't know Garrett very well, but his personality seems so dry. But you look at those teams, we got high profile coaches, up tempo guys, get in your face type guys, and stuff like that, which is Sean Payton is like that. I think they just need to be drawn to a higher expectation and level of execution and get the job done. Because I think they got the talent.
Well, just to go off cue for a minute, just for a second, I saw up on the screen today and I went and looked it up because I don't know those Ball brothers by name. I don't know it. I know they all start with an L or something.
Right.
The dad, but Lo Mello, I guess that's the younger one.
Right.
He
Right.
is returning from Lithuania to play high school basketball. I guess this is his senior year. So
Yes.
from what I understood and just what I saw online, I saw a gentleman talking with Bob Lee yesterday, and he was saying that he was okay. He appeared to be very arrogant and lazy, according to the report, that he hasn't really improved, but he's still supposed to be a good ball player. It'll be interesting to see what he's going to do his senior year, which is this year, but also if he has gone over and he has played professional ball as a high school student, that means that he can't go to college, right?
Well, he can't go. He can't. If he got paid, he's considered a professional athlete. I don't even think he can. I'm wondering how they're gonna get him to play high school basketball. He definitely can't
he has signed with, oh man,
He signed with a team over there. He and his brother were playing over in Lithuania.
right,
Those were
but
professional basketball.
but the younger one came back. He has signed to play with, oh man, I don't forgot what city it was, but they had the school and everything that he's now playing for. So he's now playing.
I don't know how he can do that because he had, if he played any professional ball, that's amateur ball. I don't know. I would want to know how he was able to go over and play professional ball and come back and go to high school, and then still have eligibility to play. But however they work it out, that's fine. He was supposed to be
probably because he's playing for a private school.
Of the three. Maybe that's the difference. I'm gonna have to look into that because I'm curious to know about that myself. He's supposed to have been the better of the three, but none of them have really performed very well. Not even the one that's in the NBA. He's doing okay. He's doing average ball, in my opinion. But this kid here, Dad, this is a case in point that one of the nightmares you talk about when parents get involved. He's using his kids as PR pawns. He's using his kids to promote himself. And like he made a statement the other day, LeBron has never played with the type of players like his kids before, and they need to bring his other kid there that will help LeBron become a better ball player. I'm not a LeBron James fan, but I'm also not crazy. And that is saying that the balls can't do anything for LeBron now, except maybe learn. So once again, he's running his mouth just to make noise so people will know that he still exists, like somebody really, 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 really cares about what he thinks. His kid is an average ball player. He's done average play so far. And I can't see bringing the other two because he had approached the Lakers by taking the middle son.
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking of how arrogant are you? Are you crazy? That boy can't play. He can't play. So, and the little one, the one that you're talking about, he's supposed to be truly the better of the three. And I've seen a little bit of his play, and I mean, we'll see.
Right. Yeah. And I was saying earlier, real quick, that Stan Van Gundy is going to be at Stetson, the Hatters,
amazing.
At your old town, D-Land.
Yeah. I'm wondering if because I understand as you had said, he's going to be doing some instructing. He'll be an instructor. I wonder if he'll be a part of the basketball program, or would they eventually look at making him head coach? Would he have any relationship at all with the basketball program?
Okay,
because they current.
it says that he is scheduled to teach a special topic class that will examine the ethical management and leadership aspects of sports business at the college in D-Land. That's what it says.
This is similar.
Starting in January.
What I think they made, in my opinion, what they're doing, they're trying to copy the program at UCF, the DeVos sports management program. Kids get a master's in sports management in all areas. And Dr. Lapchak, who is nationally known for sports diversity and statistical analytics and all of that, is a director over there. I think Stetson may be eyeing that opportunity to create a similar program that develops people in that field to go on to do other things rather than coach. They were, we're looking at ADs and other analytical situations, because the program at UCF is very well connected to the NBA. And I know a lot of those kids come out and get some very good jobs with City, working in sports and sports management and that type of thing. So they may be attempting to do using Stan as the first step toward that. Which would be good, because they don't offer much in that area. They're more on the law side,
Right.
that I'm aware of. So here would be a great way to gain more students and offer something that people may be very much interested in.
Oh, I was able to pull up on LaMelo. He is to enroll in at Spire Institute to play high school basketball.
It must be something similar to IMG, which is a unregulated high school
It's in
program. What they call a basketball factory.
it's in Ohio. It's in
Yeah,
Ohio.
yeah.
He
That's
said, I
probably what.
decided to return to high school and complete my senior year. And he said that's what
Because
he's
he
going to
couldn't
do.
make it. He couldn't make it as a pro ball boy. He went over there and they had a terrible time. It was terrible. Coach over there said he couldn't play.
It's it, it,
They got
it
limited minutes.
Yeah, it's called Spire Prep Academy in
Yeah,
Geneva, Ohio.
yeah, yeah. Then that's how he got a chance to play. That's one of those private basketball schools, and they can bring him in. So okay, kind of like a Mount Verde.
Yeah.
That we have something similar to that, Finley Prep, or something like that. So that's good. I mean, I'm glad for him, but I hope he take a basketball class so he can learn the game.
He will earn his high school diploma.
Yeah, and a basketball.
Okay. That's funny. Man, the Duke Kentucky game last night, right?
Right.
Now, they're making it seem right now that Duke is like the best team. I mean, the way they was talking like last night was like Duke is like the best team. I mean, and not to take anything away from Duke, but the first game of the season, because where they placed Kentucky, was that more so Duke, or was that Kentucky may not be where they should be at this point in time of the season?
Well, I think
Combination
it's
of
a
both.
combination of. I think first of all, it was definitely Duke. Duke is powerful. They got 3, 4 of them in there that are that good. I do think Kentucky has talent, but I don't think they were ready for what they ran up into in last night, because Kentucky is the kind of team that want to meet you at half court and throw all hands. But Duke, that's what Duke is this year, that kind of team. And I think Duke just got the best of them. They couldn't get it back together because those guys scored an awful lot off of fast break basketball. You didn't see any sets being ran. You've seen a lot of dribble drive type situation. They played a little bit of defense, and they would just had their way. Now, they looked very dominant last night. They looked like a team that could do it all. But so did Kansas although they let Michigan State get back in on them. Florida State looked real good last night against Florida. Carolina got revenge against Warford about 10, 12 points. and that kind of stuff. But Duke just did it all. I mean, they looked dominant last night. Now, my question is whether or not they can sustain that level of enthusiasm and execution when other teams will not only won't play that kind of ball with them. They'll play a more structured and design game against them and scheme against them and slow that game down and put them in half court basketball and see if they can do what they think what they did the other night. Still don't know whether or not they defend that well. Because E.J. Barrett is definitely a guard, a highly talented guard. Zion, for a big guy, got ballerina feet. That boy can do an awful lot. But I didn't see him playing the defense. That definitely didn't see him play Krzyzewski type traditional basketball, which I don't think he's going to be able to play with them anyway. Plus, it's the first game of the season. They were hyped up all over the place. And I'm not taking anything away from them now because they got out there and got it done. But I just think in the ACC, they're going to run up on it. They still got to meet the Boeheims out there. They got to run up on Florida State, who is just as big, if not big and quick as well. To them, they got to run up on those guys and the rest of the ACC, and they got to get over the hump. They got to play Carolina. So Carolina, they didn't limp into this year. They came in strong too. They didn't have those highly touted, but they got some good freshman ball players. They got a kid out of OCP, Little. I watched him play last night, and I watched Cody White, point guard, that came in that played very well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they look, but they were impressive last night, no question about that. And I'm not even a Duke fan. And I had to be, although I had heard about those guys, I wanted to see how well they play together. They played great street ball, in my opinion. Strong street ball. I mean, they had that ball up and down the court. I don't think they're going to be able to do that the whole season.
Right. I didn't get a chance to see that Florida State game, but you said Florida State looked good.
Yeah, Florida State looked very strong. They just got up all over Florida. Florida could do nothing with them. They got a big 7-footer who very similar to, he's 7 feet plus, might be 7'1", similar to Tacos, but he's a better athlete than Tacos with the basketball. He runs the floor better right now. He can score around the basket. They got Man, who's been there for a couple of years. He's really taken over. They're long, and they get up and down the floor. So that'll be an interesting matchup. And then you got Syracuse has reloaded. They got a pretty strong team. That basic Boeheim 2-3. That's going to be something they're going to have to work with. So it's going to be interesting. Without a shadow of a doubt, the ACC is going to be something to look at this year.
Oh, okay. Who is your? I mean, I know this is kind of a bad time to ask this question, but do you have a sleeper in the college in college basketball?
Well, I don't have one yet. I'm still observing, but the word is Gonzaga. They have reloaded. They're supposed to be really tight and ready to roll this year. So I'm going to watch it. I think Nevada is somebody you need to watch out there. You got to watch Villanova. They're defending champs. You got to keep your eyes on those guys. But right now, the sleeper seems to be, or maybe not the sleeper, but is Gonzaga. And so I'm kind of watching Gonzaga right now.
Okay.
And Virginia's trying to recruit. They had a strong outing the other night too, having lost to that 16 seed team. I think that's still bothering them. And they came out and put on a great performance. UCF won a big game last night, beating Ryder, who was nationally ranked. It beat them by double digits. So they're off to a very good start.
Okay. I'm gonna go mark on my calendar, which is later on in the season, the Duke and North Carolina game.
Yeah, that'll be in February.
Right.
They won't see each other until February, and they'll play twice.
Right.
One's home and one away.
And maybe again in the ACC
DC championship. There's a strong possibility they may meet again, so they can end up playing 3 times.
Do you
maybe
think,
4?
Do you think there'll ever be a time where they may be invited to a tournament like a holiday tournament?
Who's
do you
that?
think they would ever let that happen?
What do you mean holiday? Because a lot of these guys are playing around the holidays.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about Duke and North Carolina playing against each other.
in a
Like like a Thanksgiving tournament, a Christmas tournament.
no, primarily because of the ACC itself. It's such a big deal, and
Right,
that tournament is so high profile. They not now, like for instance, uh, they played on that game is tonight or later on this week, where they play out on that, put basketball out on that aircraft carrier.
right,
They'll go over to Hawaii and play. They
right.
try to stay away from each other. As a lot of those schools, they don't want to play anybody that they might see during the regular season. So the chances of them coming together, as some of these other Division I schools are high pro. They don't want to see each other until they're scheduled to play. They don't want any incidental contact before that time. They want to stay away from each other. So the chances of that happening, because Carolina was offering to play an exhibition game to raise money for the storm victims, but the NCAA would not allow that to take place for whatever be the reason. So them playing in a holiday tournament against each other, being the type of rivals that they are, I doubt that. I don't think
Yeah.
that would happen.
You every year I always kind of go back and forth with you. But first, let me ask you about what you think about that Alabama LSU game.
Um, I said I told people going in. Alabama's hard to beat right now. You, mm-mm. I mean, they got too many things going for them all around. Special teams, defense, offense. They got a double threaded out with the quarterback. Even the guy got a slight injury. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. They can defend. But that's a juggernaut. And this team, and then you allow him to prepare for you too. They have a week a week off, a couple of weeks to prepare. Hard to beat them. It's just hard to beat them. I'm never surprised when they win. I mean, I expect them to win. To be honest with you, because they just cover so many bases, man. And I've had a chance to watch on TV. I wish I could have been there personally to watch them in their summer program and how Saban is a beast, man. He harps on every detail. He demands excellence at the smallest detail, and it repeats itself on the field. I mean, he holds the coaches accountable, holds the players accountable, the equipment managers, the travel staff. I mean, everybody. He wants everything, every I dotted and T crossed. While that may be seem to be a bit of an extreme in some cases, and it's definitely a tough environment to work in, but it is one of the most productive environments, and the kids love him. I mean, he's fair, he's straight up, he tells it like it is. You either did well or you didn't, and there's no in between. And you're gonna have to do better, or you're not gonna be able to stay here.
Right.
I mean, it's that simple. So, um, they hard to beat, man. I just don't see anybody beating them.
Now,
I really don't.
did you see when Clemson played against Florida State?
No, but I'm not surprised at that outcome, because Clemson is struggling a little bit this year, in my opinion. Although they're still winning, they're not playing the kind of ball they played a year ago, but they're way too much for Florida State. Florida State gonna have their hands full this weekend coming up when they play Notre Dame. They're not ready. I mean, this is what their schedule looks like, but in my opinion, they're just not prepared to play that they don't have what they need to play that kind of schedule right now. But you can't run from it. You got to get out. It's on the schedule. You got to play it.
Well,
And I really wasn't surprised.
well, the way that it looks like the collision course is going to be set. That again, Clemson was going to at some point play Alabama.
They got them 1-2 right now, unless something happens with the other two teams that they have in there. I think it's Georgia,
Right.
and they got
And
six teams in there: Georgia, Oklahoma,
it
Alabama, Clemson. I can't think of the other two.
it it might
I
be
think no, is Notre
Michigan.
Dame in there? Yeah,
Yeah,
it might be
yeah,
Michigan or Notre Dame.
yeah, yeah.
But it could happen. I mean, these are two of the top teams in the country. I mean, UCF is ranked number
Around
12, I
10,
think.
around 10, somewhere around up in there.
Yeah, 10 or 12. And if
Right.
they win, they keep winning, they're going to go up higher. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that out, too. And I'm sure UCF is looking at that as well while they still win. Guy in Nebraska, the guy, Frost, that left UCF and went to Nebraska. They won another game the other day. They beat Cookman. Well, I mean, he might not have a team he want, but they were able to beat Cookman. So he's got 2 or 3 wins under his belt, and so I said going in, he won't have the kind of season that he even wanted or would expect, but they would do something as he prepares them for next year. I
Yeah,
expect a quick turnaround. I really do.
yeah. I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen, especially with the SEC. With the playoffs. So
Hmm.
we're
Yeah.
going to see what's going to happen with that. Whether or not there's going to be an upset. Whether or not
Hmm.
Georgia going to upset them. I think they still will play Auburn. That's always a good game. That Auburn game.
Always,
Yeah,
always.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah. That's
always a
always a
good game.
yeah. That's a
So
hype.
you still
Yeah,
got
that's a
some good
hype game.
games to come around Thanksgiving and going into Christmas. You got some serious ball to be played. A lot of football still yet to be played. But I just think that Alabama's just this year and it is untouchable. Even if they lose a game, they're still going to be at the top of the heap. But I'm just not sure they're going to lose one.
I heard some rumors about Jerry Jones having problems with Drew Pearson because
Hmm.
that's why he's not in the Ring of Honor. And they
Hmm.
were saying that he should be, but because
He
he
definitely
he
should be.
right, because he criticized Jerry Jones of how he treated Tom Landry, and
Hmm.
there was one other person too that they said should be in it, and I don't remember who, but based on the conversation that I heard, he should be. But and that's the thing, because when you have that kind of ego, and when it's, you don't treat people fairly. I mean, it's just there's something wrong when you can't set your ego aside, and then a lot of times when people are actually speaking the truth, because they totally disrespected Tom Landry the way that he did what
Yeah.
he did, the way that he did it, because without Tom
Hmm.
Landry and understanding America's team, you can't distance yourself because of what he made the Cowboys. The reason
Well,
why you
yeah,
wanted to buy the Cowboys
was
and
was
be
what he made
the
it.
owner of the Cowboys is because
Yeah.
of Tom Landry.
Tom Landry and Tex Stram
Right,
built that
right,
built that franchise and built that brand.
right.
And I admit that Jerry has come in and embellished it and made it into even a bigger brand than it was already. I agree with that. But that team was valuable when he bought it, although the value has gone up. But it was one of the top franchises when they came along, and that was a Landry. And I still think he should have left Landry there, given what Landry had done. But the way they treated and Tex Stram did a dirty deed for him too. And it made it hard for me to continue to be. I am a Cowboy fan while I'm not a Jerry Jones fan, but I am a Cowboy fan. I've been a Cowboy fan for years, so I'm still a diehard Cowboy. But I am not a Jerry Jones fan. He has an ego that talks about himself, about who he is. He wants to be recognized for what he does. And you're the owner. What more do you want? You write the checks. Now, if you want to coach, then coach the team. I mean, you don't have to aggravate people about it. You're the owner. You own the doggone thing. Go ahead and coach it if that's what you want. But you want somebody else to coach it and tell them what to do. People don't want to do that. Bill Parcells and Jamie Johnson explained that to him. I'm not listening to you. Both of us can't coach this team. Now, who is it going to be, me or is it going to be you?
Right.
So and he was jealous of Jimmy's success. But Jimmy earned every bit of success he had. He earned every bit of it.
Well,
You know,
that's because
so
he knew what he was doing.
and Jamie, and did you know that they played together?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they played together and all that kind of stuff. They got a long history together, but they obviously can't stand each other.
Oh wow. Also, I forgot to mention last week, the Bills, which I don't know what took them so long, but they retired Thurman Thomas jersey
Saw
last
that
week.
on saw that he was there and he made it very it looks good. Uh, I remember when he played. He looks really good. I thought he gave a nice presentation speech, and I thought it was nice for them to go ahead and honor him because he was a part of that legacy that was there.
Which I would want to ask you, Vince. I mean, I know the answer that if somebody asked me this question, but would you rather go to 4 Super Bowls that you didn't win, or not go to four at all?
I'd rather go to 4 Super Bowls I didn't win
Right.
because I mean that's a very unique and prestigious opportunity. It's unfortunate you didn't win it. I can bring it even. I can bring it closer to you. I have coached in high school basketball for 8 years. I've been to state once, and I'll never forget that experience. And we didn't even win it, but the opportunity to walk in there and be one of the elite teams in the building throughout that tournament is one heck of a feeling. It's a great sense of accomplishment, and we had a chance to do that. Now, obviously, we're trying to get back and go even deeper, but so I will always relish the fact that I got a chance to go to state, whether the fact I win it or not. I was there. My name is in print. My name, they got a copy of the program with my name in it. So I'll take that in today as opposed to never having gone. And I think a lot of those athletes say that's the goal, to be an NBA champion, to be an all-star, be on an Olympic team on football and make it to the shrine or whatever. I would go repeatedly, win with opportunity to never and maybe never win it, but just the fact that I was there, I can always say I had a chance to play for the championship, as opposed to somebody who can never say they had that opportunity. So I'll take it. I'll take it any day because
Okay.
that's quite an accomplishment. To go
Okay.
back to a Super Bowl or a World Series, even though you didn't win it. Look at the Dodgers; they went back to back. They didn't win it, but they got back there.
Right.
That's better than the rest of the teams did. So to me, I think it's an honor. Is it the ultimate honor? No, I want to win, but I think to be able to go there is quite special.
Okay. Super Bowl or Hall of Fame? If you had a choice of winning a Super Bowl or NBA championship or being in the Hall of Fame.
I think the Hall of Fame would mean a lot to me because it it shows a level of consistency in how I played that game, in my opinion. That I really and no disrespect to winning a championship because I think that speaks a lot to it. But say you win a championship, you only win one, but your Hall of Fame selection is based over your body of work. So you played at a high level or some level in consistency. And one of the things you've had impact. Now I know that's not a category they talk about, but look at the
Right.
impact you've had on younger players, other players, coaches, whatever. I think I'd take the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would too. In the actual Hall of Fame. So with that
Yeah,
being said, yeah. So are you ready to do your 3 minute sprint?
absolutely. I'm 100% ready.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can get this thing going here.
All right.
All right. Here we go. Starting the 3 minute sprint right here and now. Okay. What's the largest crowd you ever played when your largest crowd when you played the drums? You ever played in
Um,
front of?
Number of people possibly in the room,
Yeah.
about 1,000 people.
All right. Okay. Have you ever taken singing lessons?
No, that's a
Okay.
waste of money.
Okay. If you didn't play the drums, what other instrument would you play?
Saxophone.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. I wonder why. Wonder why. Okay. Remember last week I asked you because we grew up on westerns. So I'm going to
Hmm.
ask you uh, what would be your four westerns again? Bonanza, Have Gun Will Travel, Rifleman, or Wanted Dead or Alive.
Bonanza, Rifleman, and what was the other one?
Wanted Dead or Alive. Oh, Have Gun Will Travel, Rifleman.
Have gun will travel.
Okay, Have Gun Will
Those
Travel.
three. Yeah,
Okay,
have gun
all
will
right.
travel.
Okay,
Was one of my favorites. Actually, all
okay,
four of them were.
yeah. Okay. When you were a kid, did you ever have to hang clothes on the line outside?
Ooh, shoot, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not only mine, not only for my family, but for the neighbors as well. Yeah, I was a neighborhood clothes hanger. My grandmama just said, "Go over there and help what's her name with her laundry." Why? I don't live over there, but I had to go. So yeah, I've done a whole lot of clothes hanging.
Oh, okay. At what age did you learn how to iron?
Oh shoot, um, uh, probably I think it was around 10, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that category. I mean, some serious. I was doing some serious ironing at 12. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Now, did you ever think Elizabeth Montgomery of Bewitched was a real witch?
I'll be honest with you. When I first saw that, I for a minute I thought it. Then I realized it was television. So I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Did you ever think Barbara Eaton was a real genie
I
when
did
you
for a
watched that
minute.
show?
I did. Yes, I did. I couldn't buy the witch thing, but I could buy that genie thing.
Yeah, yeah, cause she was a cutie.
Yeah, she was that.
Yeah,
She was
really.
definitely that.
All right. So that I mean, as far as hanging clothes, I think we all had to hang some clothes because I mean,
Huge.
you know, with the clothespins and da da
Hmm.
da.
Not only the wooden ones, but I hadn't got fancy and started using the colored ones as well.
Oh,
I was
oh
hanging
yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, I thought I was doing something. You couldn't tell me stink, boy. I had colored clothespins. What are you talking about?
Wow. And see the young people, I mean the millennials, I mean they have no idea what we're talking
They have
about.
no idea. No, they have no idea what's going on. They'll probably never see that. They'll never get to understand that.
Yeah.
Did you see? Did you see the one interesting thing in the NBA where Chandler Tyson was bought out by the
Right.
Suns and
Yeah.
Wade and the
Yeah,
Lakers
I'm
picked
watching
him
them
in
play
fact
right now.
playing tonight.
Right.
Yeah, he's playing it. I think he's good for what they want to do for this year, but he I really don't understand what other than his experience, I don't see what they got him for.
Right.
But again, the opportunity to have another big man on the floor could make a difference.
Yeah, because when they made that, I mean, when I saw that, the first thing I did was like, man, he's been around a while, so let me see how
He
long he's been
had
in the league. He's been in the league
Dirk.
17 years.
Yeah, he's been around a little while. I'm noticing not only Minnesota, but Dallas is struggling a little bit. Dirk Nowitzki is still out, going to be out another 3 weeks. So they're struggling over there a little bit without Dirk because they need Dirk. Dirk brings a lot to the floor. But and look at Toronto. Toronto Raptors on fire. They're still undefeated.
Yeah.
They're rolling right along.
They still trying to figure out what they're gonna do with Butler.
Yeah, well, he's going to be traded. There's no question about that. But Butler creates too many problems, and if they don't do something about it, it's going to eat them up. It's going to implode internally. In fact, some of that's already happened. I'm surprised they're having any kind of success because he burned some serious bridges
Right.
and alienated himself from the team. And some of those guys really don't like him, but they're just getting out there doing their jobs. Thibodeau, I got to tip my hat to Thibodeau for trying to, for having those guys show up and play hard because they're giving Lakers a good game right now.
Did you see that game? The the Buck and the Pam. Oh, because I wanted to ask you about Fitzpatrick starting now. Would you keep him as a starter?
Yeah, as long as he can produce. That to me, that's what it's going to come down to now. You gave Jameis Winston his due opportunity to come back as a starting quarterback after
Hmm.
being injured. Uh, you put him back, and then he didn't perform, and now you got, in my opinion, and the other kid had already played. Now you go with the best performer between the two. There's no question in my mind. You don't. There's nothing to question. This guy's doing. He's playing better. You put him out there.
What did you think of the that Rams Saints game?
I think I picked the Saints to beat them when we talked last week. That I felt like that the Saints could pull that off, and I did not think the Rams would go undefeated throughout the year.
Yeah. Well, let's go over this coming
And
week schedule then.
also, but before we get there, I wanted to make note of Derrick Rose had an outstanding performance the other night. Dropped 50 points in the game.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd see him do that again. I really thought he was over the hill, but He's playing well. I think he's playing a little bit tonight as well.
Yeah. Uh
Glad
huh.
to see him get back because he just had a series of incidences, both physical and some mental or family issues or social issues. Let me put it that way. That kept him sidelined, but he seems to have his head on straight right now. And boy, I tell you what, I'm excited for him because I can just only imagine how that feels. And he broke down in tears, man. He was so relieved and excited about it, and I myself was excited about it as well. I'm like, man, that's great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Well,
I was very
you
impressed with that.
understanding all the hard work and what it takes,
Yeah.
and coming off of injury after injury. People.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see the dollar signs, but we don't see the hard work. Especially after you
Yeah,
coming
because
off
he was
surgery. And that type of thing.
he was talking about leaving the game one time. It had got him down so bad and depressed him because he couldn't get back up on his feet. It was really just giving him, and I understand that. I mean, I truly do. I mean, it was just beating him up, but I applaud him for being able to get through it because he could have very easily thrown his hands up and said, you know what, I'm out of here. But he stayed in there and hung in there, and it's paid off for him. So I'm excited about that.
All right.
Um,
Okay. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night,
mhm.
you're gonna be glued to the TV. You're gonna be watching the Panthers and the Steelers. That should be a good game.
It should be a good game. Steelers seem to be on a resurgence right now. They're playing well, coming back strong. I like the Steelers in tomorrow's game.
I was shocked that Atlanta was able to do what they did to the Redskins this past week, but the Redskins are taking on the Buccaneers.
Yeah, Redskins are. See, this is the thing that hurts us as a Cowboy. We need the Redskins not to have a good season. Philly's struggling. Everybody's pretty much tired in there because excuse me, Philly is not having a good season. Cowboys struggling. Washington struggling. I really need them to go in there and beat Washington if they could. Please do that for me. I'd appreciate that. Go in there and beat their brain. But I think Pittsburgh will take over them. And who's playing Washington?
Tampa.
Tampa. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I think Washington will win that, and the Cowboys got the Philadelphia Eagles this weekend. So tell Fran I won't talk to her. I'm glad I won't be talking to her until next week. And based on the outcome of that game, I may not be on the show next week.
Okay, well, we have the
especially
Chiefs
if
and
we
the
win.
Cardinals on Sunday. That's an
Who's
early
that? The
game. That's a
Cardinals?
1 o'clock game.
Who was that?
That's Cardinals and Chiefs.
East.
Arizona and Kansas City.
Kansas City, without a doubt.
Okay. Oh, two really bad teams. Man, the Jets and the Bills. Man, the Jets quarterback suck. That dude is woo, woo,
Uh,
woo, woo,
the
woo.
Bills, the Bills had a nice spark the other day. I watched them for a few minutes. They didn't look that bad. Uh, I tell you what, that's a toss up in my book. But just to make it interesting, I'll go with the Bills.
I'll say whoever's playing at home.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Jaguars and the Colts. Do you think they've given up on Blake Bortles, or should they had extended that his contract?
Blake's performance has been up and down. When he's playing well, he's truly an outstanding quarterback. But when he's not playing well, he is a terrible quarterback. And so I guess you got to go with whatever he's doing at the time. If he's playing well and an extension comes along, we sign him. If he's not, you don't do it unless there's some reason for them to believe he's gonna get better. I like him. I didn't believe he would be, based on the conversation that we had having about him when he was coming out. I wasn't sure he was going to be making anywhere, but he's come out and done very well. But ups and downs, topsy turvy. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Consequently, you don't know what the Jaguars are going to give you. So the
Right.
Colts are just as bad. They're terrible. But just to keep it interesting, I'm gonna go with the Jaguars.
Okay. Well, as they say, lion, tigers, and bears. No, actually, it's the lions and the bears.
Whoa, I'm gonna get the Lions the edge on this one.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna give. I just feel like they might be poised to steal one.
Okay. The the Saints and the Bengals. Cincinnati against New Orleans.
Ooh, I still like New Orleans as a sleeper. New Orleans is surprising people because and I always felt that about them. If they ever got their ship righted and got it back in track, they're gonna be tough to beat, and that's the kind of ball they're playing on both sides of the ball too.
The Patriots and the Titans.
Titans beat up, got away with the cow. Just don't think. I'd love to see them knock the Patriots off, but goodness says you go with the Patriots. But I'd like to see the Titans win.
The Falcons and the Browns. You know what? Who's coaching the Browns? Who,
That's
who's
a good
coaching the Browns?
question. Now that you mention that, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm about to look that one up. I will. Who they're playing again?
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta pulled off a big one the other day. I'm gonna give them a shot against Cleveland. I
You
think
know,
I think they beat.
and again, I keep asking how bad are the. You know who really? I mean, I used to be a serious Raiders fan though, but I'm going way
Mm-hmm.
back when Tom Landry was. Those guys back when the Raiders were the Raiders, man. When
Mm-hmm.
when they were like Jack Tatum and those guys
Right.
was like really nasty, just
Mm-hmm.
downright the Raiders. That's when I was a
Right.
Raider fan.
Yeah.
When they
Right.
was the Raiders. But anyway, they're playing the
Mm-hmm.
Chargers.
They're not gonna be able to beat the Chargers. They're not gonna be able to beat the Chargers. I don't think so. I mean, Gruden's got he's got growing pains, man. He's just it's gonna be tough on him right now. So he might well
The
about to bite the bullet and go ahead and deal with it. He just
the
doesn't
Se-
have what he needs to do.
right, the Seahawks and the Rams.
Now, this is going to be interesting because the Rams I've listened to the coach talk about the team after that loss. He thought they would bounce back and be ready to go and get back on them. I'm gonna give a slight edge to Seattle. I think Seattle might knock them off again.
Now, only if they're playing at Seattle. Now, if they're playing at the Rams, I don't think they're going to be able to win that game
Yeah,
because the Rams are really good, and plus they're coming off that loss.
they're playing
So
well.
yeah,
Yeah, they only
plus
got
they're
one
coming off that
loss.
loss, so they might have a little bit of attitude.
They might,
Um,
but I
yeah,
also think that the Saints might. Yeah, I mean that Seahawks might see some vulnerability in them and jump on it as well. So if they don't recover fast, if they come out there and they can't get their act back together, they'll get beat. So I'm gonna go with Seattle on that one.
Okay. How bad are the Dolphins, man?
I thought the Dolphins were doing pretty good, but it seems like they coming apart at the seam. And who are they playing?
The Packers.
Nah, I don't care where they playing. They can be playing in the middle of the street, and they're not gonna beat the Packers. So
Yeah.
home, it won't have. It don't have to be home field advantage. It can be down in the
Oh,
park, and they're gonna
okay.
get their head handed.
Now, the Sunday night game, which you already
Mm-hmm.
said that you might not be on the show next week.
If the Cowboys beat Philadelphia, boy, I first of all I'll be elated. Number two, I'm not gonna bother Fran. I already understand what Fran can do, and I'm just gonna stay off the. And I'll send an email in and say, "Hey, Charles, let's talk. I'll do the show per email. I don't want to be on camera if we win. Now, if we don't win, then I'll face it like a man, like a big boy. I'll put on my big boy pants and show up.
Okay, that's Sunday night. That's the Sunday night game. The Cowboys and the Eagles.
They're playing in Dallas, aren't they?
Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see where that game is being played. Uh, Tickets. Oh, actually it's in Philly.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay, that could be interesting.
yeah, yeah. It's in Philly.
Okay.
Okay, the Monday night game. Now, and I feel so bad for Eli, but well, they're playing the 49ers.
Uh, only because I think the Giants, they're dysfunctional right now. So I think the 49ers will beat them. And I do kind of feel sorry for Eli too, because a lot of that's not his fault.
Right, right.
He just got caught up. He just caught up in it. He just ain't doing the best he can trying to get out. But I don't see it happening this season.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, what the
It
heck do you
happens. I
do?
mean, it happens, and you just have to, you gotta grin and bear it and get through it until the next season and start rebuilding. So, because some of the teams do a good job of rebuilding while they're doing well, and other teams don't have that kind of money. They don't have that kind of flexibility. They have to wait. And unfortunately, when you wait like that, you're down the bottom of the barrel and you get your head beat in down there.
Right. Yeah. And then the thing is that it really makes them look bad when
It
you don't have
does.
an offensive line and you running for your
Yeah.
life and
Every single play.
yeah. So it's just like wow. And then they coming down on you, like you supposed to be Superman. And it
Yeah.
doesn't
He
matter
he
what team
might
it
be
is, but when
Superman,
you
but he
when
got
you
a hole
dealing
in
with
his
what
cape.
yeah. So wow. Anyway, but yeah, that's it. So looking forward to now your first game is when, Vince? Your
November
basketball
13th, next Tuesday.
next
So
Tuesday. Okay,
the night before
is it a home game or away game?
the home game, it's a home game. Yeah, it's a home game. And then we play again that Thursday, which is also a
Okay,
home game. So we'll have two. I have a game before the show and a game after the show.
okay,
But
all
we'll
right.
be able to talk about hopefully how well what was our performance like on that Tuesday.
How many seniors you got this year?
Seven,
7?
7.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's a real plus in terms of what we're bringing onto the floor this season, and a huge minus as to what we're leaving with. When they leave, it's going to leave a big hole because these are 7 seniors who are playing. Last year we graduated 5 seniors, but only one was a starter. This year we're graduating 7, 5 of them are starters. So, or at least 4 of them. We got one who starts, irregularly, but they're all contributors. All 7 of them are contributors. So they're going
How
to be
many
sorely missed.
how many games are on the regular season?
22, I think, and then you can play in tournaments and they don't count. You can play like 2 games or maybe 3 and they don't count against you. So, but they do allow you to play some. That's like these play dates we are playing. They don't count against. That doesn't count at all.
Hmm.
It doesn't count. So you can play about 25 games. Because last year we were 25-7.
Okay, well, I know
So
you're
that's 32
excited.
games. Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, especially after I missed the second half playoff from last year, I'm real excited. Have been in the gym since I was able to get back up and get around, and really been in there working with the kids, working, able to go in and spend a little time with the JV and with the freshman team as well. So I'm real excited. I can't wait to see what we really look like on when we toss it up for real. Gyms
Okay.
packed, cheering sections, and everything like that. I mean, I'm excited.
Well, remember last year I was trying to get you to send me the link because I think the game is streamed live, right?
Yeah, I sent you one of our rival games. There are two
Right.
games that I want you to see for sure. Is the two of our rival games. If we're gonna play good basketball at all, it's gonna be against these two schools, and we're gonna have to play them regular season and in the playoffs if we want to go anywhere, because they stand in our way and we stand in their way.
Okay.
And I'll be sure to send it to you
Oh, okay.
because all the
Well,
video stuff comes through my hand anyway. So as soon as we get it up, I'll send it to you. Regardless of whether we win or lose, I'll send it to you.
okay. All right. All right. All right. Well, again, this is Youth Central Sports where we come to you every Wednesday at 11 p.m. You know, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook. We're on Periscope and Twitter. And so as you can see, we we have a lot of fun here at Youth Central Sports. And next week we're going to talk about what we talk about. We're going to be a little serious next week because I want to pick your brain a little bit. Kind of get some knowledge from you about diversity, how important that is, and
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
the
yeah.
message that you try to get through and what you try to get them to understand.
Hmm.
Because I think once you see the video that I'm going to send you of this teacher, and also, by the way, someone and he was arrested.
Hmm.
The teacher was arrested, and his bail was set at $50,000. Someone
Mm.
set up a GoMe fund, and they've raised over $100,000, and most of
Ooh.
that money came from teachers. Most of the
Wow.
money came from teachers. So
Hmm.
I'm going to send you the video. We're going to
Okay.
talk about it, and I'm going to share something else with you, Vince, that you probably did not know. That was something that was very courageous and someone who had a lot of courage that you did not know. And I
Okay.
guarantee you that you didn't know this. So,
All right. All
yeah.
right.
All right.
I look forward to
Well,
that.
okay. Well, this is Youth Central Sports, the original Coach Carter. We're happy to be with you every Wednesday at www.youthcentralsports.com. And I want to say to you, please enjoy the rest of your week. And thank you those who went out and voted.
Amen.
Exercise your right. So make sure
All right.
when it comes up again that you take somebody with you, encourage others to register to vote, and your vote will always mean something. And again, thank you for taking the time out to do what you should do. All right. Blessings to you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Charles Morse, along with the original Coach Carter.
Blessings, blessings.